everyone, welcome to the Southern Scally Capper. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Denim Worker by Boston Scally Company. Let's get to it. It ain't much, but it's honest work. Here it is. This is the Denim Worker. This is a 6-panel denim blue 100% cotton cap. In Boston Scally's own words, crafted from adorable woven cotton and denim blue, this 6-panel cap features a black quilted lining that keeps you warm when temperatures drop. Here is the cap in hand. This is, of course, the denim. And as you can see, it is denim. That is pretty much all that this cap is. Besides here, you have this nice beige looking brim here. And you can see as I go across, as it does on some fabric, the color actually changes on it. So that's a really nice touch. I really like this beige brim on this Denim Worker. And the inside is a black quilted lining. So this hat is supposedly supposed to keep your head warm in the winter months if you're working outside. I haven't been outside long enough really to test that, but it does feel really good on the head. It feels really warm. I will give them that. And I also forgot to show, here are some eyelets. I guess the intention is to breathe through these eyelets, but of course the denim does go to the eyelets, so I'm not sure how well you can see it there. But there's no relief, in the eyelets, so it might give a little bit of breathability. I'm honestly just not really sure if it would, but it's a warm cap, and I did go outside for a bit in it today, and so it feels really warm. I really like the way this cap looks on the head. It is a nice looking cap. I know denim isn't everyone's thing, but I really like it. And what's funny about this cap is that this was the only Boston Scally cap that I asked for Christmas from my wife. This cap came out a little bit before Christmas, so I asked for this cap. I ended up getting no Boston Scally caps, womp womp, but my wife did get me a gift card for Boston Scally's site, so I did go get some caps. But what's funny about this cap is that in my size, it had sold out. So I was like, a little bummed, but whatever, I'll get some other caps. And then lo and behold, a couple weeks ago, or maybe a week or so ago, it came back in stock in my size, in a medium large. So I jumped on it. I was like, I got to get this cap. So, because it was a cap that when it did come out, I did want quite a bit. So I was, like I said, I was a little, heartbroken. I didn't get it for Christmas. But like I said, she got me the gift card, right? So I could get whatever I want. There's so many Boston Scally caps that it's like, just go, get what you want, right? It's like, it's the equivalent, I think, of getting someone an Amazon gift card. Just, you know what you like, go get it. So, but I did end up getting this cap when I did see it, that it had went back on sale in my size, and I'm not sure which all sizes did come back up. I know my size is now sold out. The medium large is now sold out. But this was a cap that I did really want. I think it's pretty unique among Boston Scally's caps. I have the other worker, and like I said in the beginning, there are actually, at least right now, sitting on Boston Scally's site. Some of them are sold out, some of them aren't. But there are 8 worker caps, and that is a lot, I think, of one style. I know the rose caps have quite a bit of caps to choose from in that style as well. But the other worker I have is the craft tan worker. I really like that cap too, but I think I like this one a little bit more. I really do like the denim a lot. And this cap, it does have a pin that goes with it. All the worker caps, I guess they encompass this one pin, the worker pin. And as you can see here, it is the wrench and the hammer. So really cool there. I really like that pin, but I believe that pin has been long sold out on Boston Scally's site. But what's funny to me about denim, when I think about denim, the first thing I always think about is, I'm a fiddle player. I'm a bluegrass fiddle player. And when I was in high school, I started really liking the band Alison Krauss and Union Station. They became really popular. Well, not really popular, but they became a little more well-known from the movie Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? After that movie, there was a bluegrass resurgence in this country. And so that was who I listened to. From a friend actually let me burn an album from them, and it was their new favorite album. And I thought, I'll never get another Alison Krauss album. I wasn't into that kind of music. So I burned the CD. Don't tell anyone, okay, guys? I burned the CD and I just labeled it Alison Krauss because I was like, I'll never have another Alison Krauss album, let alone another Alison Krauss and Union Station album, which is her band, Union Station. But then I got hooked. I got absolutely hooked on Alison Krauss and Union Station. And shortly thereafter, I went to see her in concert, her with Union Station, and I began to learn the bluegrass fiddle. And so it just went from there. But getting back to the point of this story is that in 2005, a couple of years after I started really getting into them was in 2001. So in 2005, I was going to see them in concert, and it was worked out where we were going, me and a friend of mine and my stepfather, we were going to go see them backstage. My stepfather had worked this out for us. And so I got to meet Alison Krauss in Union Station in 2005 for the first time. And I was just so worried about what I was going to wear. I was, going through my closet. I felt like a girl, just like, this doesn't look good. This doesn't look good. And I was just killing myself trying to pick out, an outfit. And it ended up being this. All denim. So I went, somehow I ended up on all denim when I went to meet Alison Krauss in Union Station for the first time. So when I think about denim, that's the time in my life I think about, the event in my life the first time I got to meet Alison Krauss in Union Station. And by the way, they were all very gracious. They were all so nice in person, so humble. For the longest time, Alison Krauss held the record for the amount of Grammys won by a woman. And I think she was just recently surpassed by Beyonce is now has the most Grammys for any woman. But at the time she did not. It was Alison Krauss. So it was really cool to meet them. But I always think about that. when I think of denim, I think of the first time I was fortunate enough to meet Alison Krauss and Union Station. So I am sorry, that went on that went on a little rant there, didn't it? I tend to do that, so I apologize. But I really like this cap. And it's funny, my wife, she when she first saw this cap, she hasn't seen it in person yet, but when she first saw this cap, because I got this cap in today, she hasn't seen it yet. She will see it. She called this cap, she said it looked dirty, which I thought was funny. She said, that's a dirty looking cap. I think I prefer the term rugged. I think it's a rugged looking cap, but I like, like I've been saying in this review, I like denim. And I get that a lot of people out there don't. I understand. You can overdo it with the denim like I did, as you saw in that picture with me with Alison Krauss and Union Station. But I really like this cap just because, like I said earlier in the video, I don't feel like Boston Scally makes a lot of caps. This is just they have hundreds of caps, of course, close probably to the 300 to 500 range. But I think this is truly one of their most unique caps. I just think this cap looks really cool. It looks a lot different from anything else. So when I'm going to grab a cap, this one will stand out. I think this one will be one like, whoa, like, obviously there's nothing else even close to this that Boston Scally offers. So I think this is a really, really cool addition to the worker caps they made, which they have so many. And I really like pretty much all of the worker caps. I mean, they all look great, but the tan one just happened to be the first one I got. I was just getting into Boston Scally, so I was going more for the, a little bit more subtlety at that time. I was a little more afraid of the loud caps, and the really colorful caps, which now I'm not, because if you've seen my past reviews, you know that I have the donut. I love the donut cap. I think it's such a cool cap. And I think I may have said it in that video, but that is the cap I have gotten the most compliments on that cap, oddly enough. So, but anyway, back to the denim. This is just such a really neat cap from Boston Scally Company, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give this cap a rating. As some of you may know, if you've been following my reviews for a while, and thank you so much for those who have. I'm just doing this for fun, and so I'm so grateful for anyone who wants to sit here and listen to me talk about a cap. And I try to share a little bit more, life stories a little bit, because I know just sitting here talking about a cap gets a little dull, even for me who likes caps. So thank y'all so much for joining me. I always appreciate when y'all watch these videos and comment. It means so much to me. So anyways, this cap is going to be, oh, and by the way, before I do rate it, if you do have the Denim, and like I said, there's at least 8 that I'm aware of the worker caps. If you have any of these other caps, where would you put this Denim opposed to the other worker caps that Boston Scally offers? Or even if you don't have it, you can see it on their website. So, and you can see in this video, of course. So what do you think of it when you compare it to the other ones? And this is probably on top for me. I really think this is the best of the worker caps that Boston Scally offers. So from 1 to 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best, I'm going to give the Denim a 5. I really, really like this cap. I think it's such a cool cap. It's such a unique cap again from Boston Scally's catalog. So that is it for me today. I hope that y'all are off to a great start this year. A lot of y'all probably had to go back to work this week, having a couple weeks off, maybe 1 or 2 weeks off from your job. So I know it was probably tough to get into the swing of things again. I know it was for me. I didn't have quite that much time off. But in any event, thank y'all so much for joining me, and we'll see you next time.